approaching this weekend? What's the mindset? Just try to treat it like a regular SEC weekend, or does it get different?
I mean, to say we're going to try to treat it like that, no, because obviously it's not that. But we're not going to make it more than it is. We're going to take it one pitch at a time like we always do, take it one game at a time, and win as many pitches as possible.
What do you think's made Cole as successful as he's been this year?
Other than the fact that he throws 100, I think it's just the work that he puts in, that he's the first one here, last one to leave every single day, even on off days. He works his tail off. He actually couldn't go first right now because he's lifting in the weight room. So it's just the work that he puts in. He works harder than anybody, which pretty much makes him better than anybody.
Is it a good or bad thing you're playing a team you've already played, as you know?
I feel like it's not an advantage or disadvantage. We know that, yeah, we played them already, but we're going to play a completely different team come this weekend. This is lose or go home. So teams are going to play hungry. We're going to play hungry. They're going to play hungry. It's definitely a different animal.
When it comes to Jordan Thompson, can you speak to how difficult it is? I mean, you play shortstop, but it's like you make 50 plays in a row, no one blinks an eye, you make one error, and it causes a lot of attention. And how does he handle that?
I mean, Jordan walks around with the utmost confidence, which he should. He's one of the best shortstops in the country, defensive-wise and offensively. When the game starts and Jordan's lined up at shortstop, we all have the utmost confidence that he's going to make every play, and just like he does in himself. And when he makes a mistake or messes up a little bit, he doesn't let it get to him. He's just ready for the next play because it could be the next pitch because, he does play shortstop. A lot of balls go there.
I'm sorry. You remember playing the SEC tournament when he went up high?
Yeah.
Get back to you at first base?
Yeah.
Those are the kind of plays that...
Definitely. And that just shows the confidence that we have in each other. Whenever he catches a ball, he doesn't really care what kind of grip he gets on it. He just flicks it over here. And I tell him to do that in practice too. Like, don't take time and kind of fumble with it in your glove. Like, just chuck it and rip it over there. If you get it anywhere close, I'm the catcher. That's how we communicate, and that's usually how it works out.
What are your thoughts on playing first? Does it kind of show you the value that Jay has in your game and the importance of meeting you at important times?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was playing left field to kind of open up the offense earlier in the season. Right now the best thing for us is me at first base, but in any situation, if I move to if I'm asked to move to left field, I'm ready. So it just shows that kind of we're locked into following, how we work in defense. Defense is the most important thing. Can't lose if they don't score any runs. So.
Yeah, especially this weekend. Because
the way they play, definitely we take that into account. But it's just what's best for the lineup.
What's different about this Kentucky team since the last time you saw them? Have you all looked into that?
I mean, I haven't really looked too much into it. I leave it to the coaches, and they kind of tell us what to look for, pitching-wise, hitting-wise, defensively. But, I mean, I don't want to say it's the same team, but I feel like I watched them play. They're regional, and they play the same way. They put a lot of pressure on you. They wait for you to mess up, and as soon as you mess up, they kind of jump on top. So we don't have to play perfect, but we do have to play as close to perfect as we can.
It seems like there's quite a bit of trash talk there was quite a bit of trash talk the last time
you
guys played those guys. Is that something that's sort of in the back of your head heading into this sort of series, or not really?
No, it's just the way they chose to attack Paul. You got a number of ways to try to attack him. Hitting him's not the easiest option, so if you want to sit there and try to get in his head, I mean, good luck with that because he's definitely tough up there. But, I mean, that's not really something we're thinking about. If they come talking, we're just kind of going to let the play speak for itself.
Does Coach Johnson trust you guys as far as handling the chirpiness and whatnot, or does he talk to you about don't fall into the head game of that kind of stuff?
No, he definitely lets us kind of go as long as we keep it controlled. Nobody's getting ejected out of games. Nobody's getting suspended for anything dumb like that. But and he knows that. We don't really talk about it. We did talk to keep the boombox even deeper in the dugout now just to make sure none of that happens. But, I mean, we know how to control ourselves.
So how do you control the bunt game? I mean, you played them before, but you don't see offenses like this very much during the year as far as being on high alert.
I mean, it's just being prepared for it. Expecting the bunt first and foremost, and when they put it down is to getting out because big innings come from messed up bunt plays, throwing the ball down the line or not fielding one. So as long as we work on getting an out every time they bunt, that's our main focus.
Jay has talked a lot this year about the player leadership on this team. Just from your perspective, how have you guys grown that out this season, and how has that been played to your advantage here?
Yeah, definitely. Our practices are way different. The practice we just had, it was fun. Yeah, I don't know how hot it was out there, but it didn't really feel like it was that hot. Like we didn't feel miserable at all the whole time, and that's just because the whole time we're talking, we're chirping each other, we're going at it, and that shows how much fun we have and how much confidence we have in each other while we still get our work done.
Speaking of leadership, what role does Hayden Travinsky play on this team and with Morgan?
Yeah, definitely. He's a veteran guy, veteran bat, veteran mind behind the plate, and he speaks the game a lot. And the presence he has in the dugout and the locker room, whether he's playing or not playing, is awesome. He's always, kind of joking around with us, always, and he speaks the game. Like one time, actually this weekend, there was a situation that I was on deck, and there was a ball hit to the outfield, and I didn't move into place to kind of control the back runner on where to slide it. He just jumped in there and kind of controlled him and told me, I have my pre-at-bat routine that I do, but I got to tell the runner to kind of know where to go first, and that's kind of what he brings to this team.
What have you thought about this?
You talked about the disappointment of losing in this round last year
Definitely.
before.
Yeah.
As we get closer to the start of the Super Regional, what are the conversations or discussions you're having with your teammates who've been here before and talking about finishing the job and getting on this?
Yeah, to us, losing's not an option. It's not even something that we're thinking about. We're going to leave it all on the field. And I don't even want to say that. It's not an option. No.
With playing this team before, is there a little bit of comfortableness with knowing that they're going to bunt, they're going to steal, kind of what they're going to
Yeah, I mean, we know what to expect, definitely. I'd say we heard about it the first time that we played them, and then it was into action. It could have or kind of surprised us a little bit, I'd say. So now we know kind of how they play and what to expect. So, yes, that definitely helps us a little bit. But like I said earlier, we know they're going to play with a completely different mindset, just like we are. Lose or go home. That brings it out of people, definitely.
Have you thought about that this could potentially be your last series here at the Bucs?
Yeah, me and Belly were talking about it earlier. He said we dapped each other up, and he was like, man, it's been a little ride. We've known each other for a long time, going back to high school. And this was potentially our last practice here at the box. So, yeah, we talked about it for a second, but then ground ball started and it was over. So that was all we talked about.
When it comes to the concept of trust, you guys have a lot of trust and faith in each other over the season. Why would you say that's been beneficial for y'all?
I mean, it's just it takes so much pressure off to when you come up in a clutch situation or come up in a situation where you have to get a job done. Yeah, it's your turn to get it done, but if you don't get it done, you have the utmost faith in the guy behind you. Like maybe you strike out in a big situation, you look at that guy on deck and say, pick me up, and you have the utmost confidence that he's going to pick you up.
As a baseball player, as a competitor, is it ever in the back of your mind, this is the final time I'll do this, in terms of just your career? Does that ever kind of enter your mind?
Yeah, and I'd say that's a feeling that I use as motivation. So I'm not going to let that get to, it's like the 8th inning and we're down, and that's what I'm going to use. That's how I'm going to play from pitch one. This could be my last time doing this here, and I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to lose on the field.
Kate said earlier this week that when he got up to bat in the regional, his body kind of went numb a little bit. When you play in an environment like this and what you're expecting this weekend, how do you kind of control those emotions, whether you're in the field or coming up to the plate?
I mean, it's hard to control them. I mean, it's loud. You're getting goosebumps. Everybody's chanting LSU. But we know that if we're feeling like this, and this is our home, I can only imagine how the other team's feeling. They're just scared to mess up, pretty much. And we're kind of excited to get the job done, because if we get it done, it's going to get even louder in there. So that's kind of, I say we do a couple deep breaths, all that, to make sure our feet are in the moment. But we don't want to, we don't want to act like it's not there, because it's definitely, it motivates us.
guys like Jared Jones, how did the coaches do a good job of keeping those guys, their heads up and engaged? Hey, you may hit a big postseason home run, we just don't know when it is.
Right. I mean, it's kind of being prepared for your moment because, like you said, you never know when it's going to come. He's behind me constantly and taking ground balls and everything like that, and I make sure he doesn't take any rep for granted. Like, he doesn't bobble a ball or throw it away. Like, I call him out on it, and that's how we are as a team. If you see somebody, laxing or going through the motions, that's not where we are. The younger guys kind of gotta step up, and they have. And he's gonna get a big hit this weekend. I can just feel it.
Yeah, just overall, how have the freshmen sort of handled this whole experience, and how have they sort of developed over the year?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say they got it easy. For their first postseasons at the box, they don't have to go all the way to Oregon for, losing at somebody else's field. But I'd say they're handling it very well. They're handling it just like it's any other games, which that's kind of the mindset you have to take into it. You don't make the moment bigger than it is. Like Jay says, we're going to win it one pitch at a time, and as long as our mind's locked in for every single pitch, we have the best shot to win.
Trey, what have you seen from your pitching staff the last couple of weekends? Obviously, it seemed to found their foot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the feeling that we've had for this pitcher staff the entire season. We see the work that they put in. We see how much they run, how much they throw. So whenever somebody comes from the pen or even starts the game, we know we have the utmost confidence in them. Like, they're going to get this job done. They're going to hold the game where it is right here, or they're not going to let that offense get started. It's just our job to kind of get the sticks going.
Trey, I noticed, as a left-handed batter, you bat really well against left-handed pitchers, which is kind of
don't jinx it.
But I just want to know, has it always been that way, or what's been kind of the key to that?
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit more of, it kind of shrinks how many pitches I can get. I mean, when it's left, you're either going to get a fastball or a slider. So you can kind of see the pop where it's going to be. But that's kind of how I was taught to hit lefties. It's a fastball until it's not, and if it's not a fastball, it's a slider, pretty much. So I say that's kind of why. And you face less lefties than righties, so the numbers probably are going to be either way better or way lower.
Have you enjoyed being around Wes Johnson, the assistant? I mean, I know he didn't coach you specifically, maybe, but what has he brought to the team this year?
I mean, just the insight that he's brought from a different perspective of the game. Obviously, he's been at the top level where we all want to go, so that's kind of, I've asked him multiple times, like, how does it look up there? Like, yeah, we see it on TV. Yeah, it's one of our goals to get there, but what does it actually look like? And he kind of just broke it down to me on, how people work out, how pitchers work out, everything like that. But what he's brought to the pitchers is insane to me. Watching the development from guys from last year to this year, just typically how much harder they're throwing. It's awesome to see that scoreboard light up.
Time for a couple more if anybody has it.
Many people have said that Wes has brought so much mentally to the team more than just physical. What would you say he's taught you the best?
I mean, I don't really work too much with them, but I could see it in some of the pitchers, the difference that they've taken mentally. Like Thatcher, from the beginning of the season to now, he looks like a completely different pitcher on the mound. And that's the confidence that we saw in the fall and in videos of watching him pitch. But he kind of brought that out of him in the season, and it's at the perfect time, too.
Last weekend it was really loud in there because of the delays and Monday and everything. Maybe it wasn't as packed as it could have been. Are you looking forward to perhaps it being A+?
Oh, it's going to be crazy. I mean, the fans know it's on the line. We know it's on the line. Kentucky knows it's on the line. So I expect the box to be rocking.
All right.
Good.
Thank
you.